A man who knows its place, and it's a man just taking a nap in the back of a garbage truck. This hardworking man wakes up every morning to do one of society's worst jobs in order to feed his family, and you want to disrespect him? Seriously, screw whoever made the original tweet of this that's being quote tweeted. You suck. Hello and welcome back to Kalbus. My name is Kwite, and today we're going to be looking at some r/therewasanattempt, a subreddit where people try to do something and it doesn't quite work out for one reason or another. Why don't we jump into it? Thinking about that time I drew Dr. Phil for my art final in high school and got a C. Well, it's a passing grade. I don't know how in the hell they did, but it's better than anything I could ever manage, so yeah, I'll take it. You know, this is good thumbnail material now that I think about it. There was an attempt to prove that Patton Oswalt is a failed comedian. When the Daily Wire called Patton Oswalt a supposed comedian, Oswalt responded with, "Guys, if you're gonna write an article about me being a failed comedian, maybe don't use a pic of me holding up the Emmy I won for doing comedy." Yeah, it just doesn't work out too well, does it? All I can think of is when he played the penguin in a College Humor skit. Very funny. There was an attempt to prove good grades are useless. Don't worry if your A-level grades aren't any good. I got a C and 2 U's. What? And I'm sitting here deciding which of my Range Rovers to use today. I didn't do A-levels. I was expelled from school and turned to a life of crime. I too am deciding which of your Range Rovers to use today. There was an attempt to find a guy. Imagine knowing a guy that can solve all your financial problems without asking for sex. Heart emoji. His name is employment. There was an attempt to get an iPhone 11. Can admins of this group do a better job of monitoring who is allowed in here, please? We have a new member, an elderly man. He's been privately messaging members, sending them naked pictures of himself in nasty poses, along with close-ups of his unmentionables. He's offering an iPhone 11 in exchange for sexual favors. I am especially bothered because it turned out to be an iPhone 6, and obviously something's wrong with it because it's super slow and the caps lock is stuck on. Damn, you got ripped off. You did sexual favors for an iPhone 6? Whoa, bro, at least iPhone 7 territory if we're getting into the sexual favors territory. Make sure you censor me saying sexual favors. They can read. There was an attempt to force someone to speak English. Me and this little old Mexican lady were talking in Spanish, and this old white bitch in a wheelchair said, "We're in America, why don't you speak English?" And the little Mexican lady told her, "You have legs, why don't you walk?" I nearly died. I gave her free coffee. Well, the bitch you told to go and walk is dead now after that burn. There is no recovering from that level of heat, dude. There was an attempt to advocate DNA test equality. Why do the women never have to take a DNA test to see if it's their child? I have no hope for humans anymore. Neither do I, friend. Neither do I. Dang, I wonder where that child comes from. There was an attempt to show off that he's a DJ. A guy wearing a record player shirt. It looks pretty nice. It's an all-over print. But the little dongle is in a place you don't really want it. I gotta say, if that is actually that though, very large girth on that man. There was an attempt to please his mother. As a child, I promised my mother I would win the Nobel Prize in Physics. 50 years later, I said to my mother, "See, I have kept my promise. I won the Nobel Prize." "No," said my mother, "you promised it would be in physics." Ah, this poor man. He did his best to make his mother proud, and still the world wasn't enough. There was an attempt to flex. You ever drink water at restaurants for free just to flex on Europeans? Y'all ever get free healthcare to flex on Americans? I would say that I'm feeling heart pains, but I'm gonna pretend that I don't so I don't have to go to a doctor to get it checked. There was an attempt to berate Facebook. Facebook just pulled an Obama and started accepting gay ads. I think the ads are based on your internet browsing patterns. Is there something you want to tell us, original comment poster? We're all here for you when you choose to come out and talk about it. There was an attempt to bring Baby Groot back. Baby Groot's response to hashtag Baby Yoda stealing his spotlight. "I am Groot," in quotations. I would use Baby Groot as firewood to keep Baby Yoda warm. Guys, we don't have to make it a competition. They can coexist. They can be friends. I'm sure they would get along. We don't need to get rid of one just to have the other guys. There was an attempt to find fault in my work. The correct spelling is school. S-C-H-O-L-L. Not school. S-C-H-O-O-L. Some people put the second O before the first O, which is absolutely wrong. That has to be a joke. There's no way that's anything other than comedy. There was an attempt to turn people against socialism. 2 minutes of erection is enough to conclude the coitus and fecundate the female. I'm guessing that's a word for sex by big brain smart man. Anything beyond that is perversion, degeneracy, and socialism. This is the greatest propaganda for socialism I have ever seen. Be good at sex. There was an attempt to treat a rare exotic bird. Veterinarians treat exotic bird, realized it's just a seagull covered in curry. I can't lie, I would be fooled too. That looks like a phoenix with the color of its plumage, if you will. Plumage? What do you call bird feathers? There was an attempt to report on the news. Marco Rubio. Today, another transformer explosion at the German dam in Bolivar State caused another massive blackout. Senator at Marco Rubio. An important transformer exploded in Bolivar, is that how you say it? And that, in part, again collapsed the Venezuelan actual electric system. However, it was not in a dam, much less German. My name is German Dam. I am one of the journalists who published the information. Oh, that's not a good look. There was an attempt to keep Christmas a secret. Piper, Mummy, quick, come look, there are loads of toys in the spare room. I may have already bullocks up Christmas, lads. That sounds wrong to read without a British accent. I'm not, but I didn't even want to try because it'd make it sound even worse. There was an attempt to wrap a present. Just wrapped my mom's Christmas present. It's a vacuum and I should have left it in the box. Y'all gotta censor this. It looks too sus. Y'all gotta censor it. Thank you, editors. You do a service unto me that I can never repay, except with money, because I do pay my editors. There was an attempt to destroy a snowman. Driver attempts to destroy giant snowman, not realizing it's built on a large tree trunk. Totaled the car with that one. The wife's not gonna be happy. There was an attempt to make a teddy bear rice cake. Oh my god, that looks like a shriveled corpse. That looks like the Night Mother from Skyrim with how badly burnt it is. The eyes are screaming in pain. It almost looks like that one Pablo Picasso painting. Who is the surrealist art who had the screaming person on the bridge? It almost looks like that. It also looks like the chocolate lady from SpongeBob. There are so many different things I can compare this to. There was an attempt to make a joke. Happy birthday, Dick! Ha ha ha! Don't write that. His name is Matt! Oh, that didn't fly very well with the people making the cake, did it? They took it very literally. There was an attempt to celebrate a creator's ethnicity. YouTube gave me that painting for Hispanic Heritage Month, but I'm Filipino. Gracias, though. Good grief. They did their best, I suppose. I guess. I'm so sorry, the Cub Scouts. There was an attempt to confess feelings. 7-year-old me. She's cute. I will leave the box. I'll tell her how I feel. 7-year-old me. Ew, I like 14-year-old me in an even thicker box. Never again. There was an attempt to ruin this man's career. Blank doesn't recommend blank plumbing and heating. Tried to sleep with my wife. Plumbing and heating. I find this highly unlikely as I'm a gay man, but it made me chuckle. Thanks, Niall. There was an attempt to draw Black Widow. You know, I'm gonna say this was much better than anything I could have done. I'm not gonna fault a man for trying to, express himself artistically. The shading's actually quite nice, I gotta be honest. The proportions need some work, but still, I'm not much of an artist myself, so what can I say? There was an attempt to be one of those sassy corporate accounts. I truly hate the people who run YouTube, from the trending page to the demonetizations to tweets like this. And yet you follow us. Please, for the love of God, do not attempt to be some sassy corporation account when your platform is in flames. I think this was around the time when the YouTube Rewind 2018 became the most disliked video on the platform. I remember when all of this happened, dog. What a nightmare. There was an attempt to spell breakfast wraps, paninis, salads, jacket, omelet, cold sandwiches, today's special, spaghetti, bolognese, canned drink, salad box, homemade lasagna. They did their best, I'll give it to them. There was an attempt to spawn a car, and it just ended up being right in the ground. Ugh. There was an attempt to stay hidden. You have 24 hours to hide before the whole world starts looking for you. If you stay hidden for a week, you get $1 billion. Where do you go and how? There was a town an hour away in the mountains that had a service road that is locked to anyone except for the Hydrojam company. About an hour drive down the dirt road, scaling the mountains takes you to a lake under which has a tunnel that leads directly under the lake. They dug it out with dynamite or something. The tunnel goes for a few hundred meters, and at the end, there's a big wheel which will allow the lake to drain and divert the water to the hydroplane or something. Only a few people have access to it, and only like 2 people know I've done work down. The tunnel also has tons of places to hide. Easy peasy. Ah yes, Lake Minnewanka, a magical place. Son of a bitch, you got called, homie, I'm so sorry. There was an attempt to prove a miracle happened because the cross didn't burn. After all the aftermath and destruction of the Notre Dame fire, the altar and cross remain untouched. Please explain to me how you don't believe in God after seeing this. Because the melting point of gold is 1064 degrees Celsius, and a wood fire burns at around 600 degrees Celsius. RIP. There was an attempt to make crinkle-cut fries, and it didn't exactly go over that well. Well, they really are burnt to a crisp. There was an attempt to protect his home. Police found a door had been designed to fire a handgun if anyone attempted to enter the home. U.S. man killed by own home booby trap. Good grief. There was an attempt to get a blank metal plate. I do not want any engraving. Just leave the metal plate blank, no engraving. That did not exactly pan out how the man who wanted it to did it. There was an attempt to decide on the best. Best Lord of the Rings movie? Settle an argument, please. The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, The Return of the King, all ranked at 33%. There was an attempt to do the trash tag challenge. Jay got a citation at the skate park for cleaning it. He has to pay $150. What? He got a citation for cleaning up the skate park. Yeah, dude, it's so fucking stupid. Like, what the fuck? How the fuck do you get fined money for cleaning up a public space? There was an attempt to confess your love. This man's trying to confess his love to someone who was calling a number and got escorted away from the premises for being a stalker. There was an attempt to justify raising the rent based on religious beliefs. Did my landlord just try to use the Bible to raise my rent? LMNO. Attention, all tenants. Effective October 1, 2019, rent will increase 10% on all units according to Numbers 1821. The good news is I work for a real estate startup and I know the law, and my landlord and I have a pretty chill relationship until this LMAFO, so I just texted him this. Hey Brucey baby, it's illegal for you to raise my rent during an active lease term. Also, federal law, the Fair Housing Act, protects me from you making any decisions about my housing based on religion. If, when my lease is up, you want to increase the rent, NY law says you have to give me 30 days notice if it's more than 5%. Also, 1 Corinthians 6:9-10 says, do not be deceived, neither the thieves nor the greedy nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. That's a hit back if I've ever seen one. There was an attempt to get upfront parking. As you continue your holiday shopping, don't be tempted to park in that open spot in front of the fire hydrant. There was an attempt to show GOP support for Trump. Try to impeach this. All these red showcasings all over the US map. Girl, this the Verizon coverage map. You did your best, sweetie. There was an attempt to park. Am I over the line? Look at this bitch. Hey, she's still in the car, but she still managed to get up like that. There was an attempt to shame men. Everyone Google search actor and count how many men come up before one fucking woman. Holy shit, ha 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 ha. Well, maybe if you type the word actress, you fucking idiot. There was an attempt to identify the brand. 3 cheers to a bright morning. I buy your product and my PC still has virus. There was an attempt to make that guy, doing the shrugging emote. How did you make that guy? Shrug, shrug, shrug. I don't know. Shrug. An absolutely twisted shrug. There was an attempt to copy the notes. He copies literally everything. He literally traced the entire thing. He got all the notes on the board and everything that he could see in his sight, including this man's face. There was an attempt to train a chimpanzee. A psychologist attempted to raise a chimpanzee named Lucy as a human being. One day, he walked into her room and was shocked to find her masturbating to a copy of Playgirl. There was an attempt to ask a question. What rhymes with orange? No, it doesn't. What the hell are you on about? He's right though. What does not rhyme with orange? What was this person thinking? There was an attempt to show snowflakes in a bad light. Snowflake students claim Frankenstein's monster was misunderstood and is in fact a victim. That's the book. That's what the book is about. There was an attempt to celebrate bail. Agra, man celebrates his bail with gunshots, gets arrested. Oh, the irony. There was an attempt to kill a mouse. A man threw a mouse into a pile of burning leaves. He tried to burn it alive, damn. The mouse then ran into his house while still on fire and burned his house down. Instant karma, I kinda gotta say it. There was an attempt to spawn a house and another house. Didn't quite work out, did it? That shit is clipping like no other. Anyways, that's all the time we have here today on Kalbus. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe and check back tomorrow as we upload Reddit content daily.